Today on Hopped Up Beer Review, we're going to be reviewing Oktoberfest, a German-style Märzen from Terrapin Brewing Company out of Athens, Georgia. Thanks for joining us. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell, as well as check us out on social media. Links are below in the description. And come say hey in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord. Got ahead of myself. Come say hey there. We would love to see you in our Discord server and chat with us there. I've got Jay. I've got Andy in the attic dancing, and I'm Ben. What are we drinking today?
The Oktoberfest by Terrapin Beer Company out of Athens, Georgia. It's a Märzen.
All right.
All right. So saith Ben. Have we? I don't recall having another Terrapin.
We've not reviewed one
on this channel. I've had Terrapin.
And per normal with this glass or mug,
you did
a
the
bit foamy.
the dirndl.
Yeah,
Gives you the FOMO.
You got to see the whole dirndl there, and the foam helps. You got the bow on the back. It's nice.
I don't have to. I'll tell you what I got to do. Cheers, mates. Oh, wait, Ben wants to get more foam.
A little more foam
in his little dress.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Tastes like an American style Märzen of a German Märzen.
So you're correct. We have not done a Terrapin yet.
I was thinking, I was like, wow, because it's a southern brewery out of Athens, Georgia. And technically, it's a macro brewery because it was acquired by the Molson Coors Corporation.
That's why you see larger distribution of their stuff.
Yes, so they get around. They get around.
That's what she said.
Terrapin of female type of turtle. So this is 5.5%, 25 IBUs. Their Märzen style. They say it's made from 100% German malt and hops. The hops, let me get this down. The hops are German Magnum, Hallertau Mittelfrüh, and Saphir. Those are the hops. The malts are Vienna, Munich, Munich 2, Melanoidum, and Cara Munich 1.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bestow the blessings on me.
Gesundheit.
And if y'all didn't notice, I'm trying to influence corporate in their decision to send us to the real Oktoberfest by wearing my best Oktoberfest garb.
How's that going for you?
Corporate will let us know. Waiting on that email any day now.
Do you have lederhosen on that we can't see? I mean, is that extend below what our viewable?
As I told you in our private text, I am not revealing that.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe for another channel, maybe for another website. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta pay to get that knowledge. Only fans.
Fair enough.
So Terrapin Beer Company was founded in 2002 out of Athens, Georgia. A couple of guys, they met, the two founders, they met while working at a microbrewery in Atlanta. And they got together and decided, hey, we can do better. So they opened Terrapin Beer Company. And we heard this about another beer we reviewed, not about Terrapin. So in April of 2002, they released the Rye Pale Ale. 6 months later, they submitted into the Great American Beer Festival in Denver, and it won gold for the American Pale Ale. So I don't know if y'all recall what that brings to mind. A new beer made, and they inserted into some festivals, and immediately, do you remember this wonderful black lager called Xingu out of Brazil? So
Yes.
similar to that, and it just blowed up on the scene. So
Exploded.
Terrapin, if you're definitely in the South, you've seen some Terrapin, and if you like
Right.
craft beer. So
Yeah, I'd be curious, Andy, did they mention why they chose Athens, given they were both in Atlanta? I understand, we all know from being from the South that Athens is where the University of Georgia is located. Thus,
cool college
you'd have
town, hey.
cool college town and access to lots of money from kids and their parents and alums and everything else. But just curious why they might have picked Athens other than that.
Yeah. Well, it's going to remain a mystery because they did not mention anything of the sort. Why Athens?
Did it say what microbrewery they came from?
Didn't.
Hmm.
This is according to their website. So.
Having been to Athens many times, I mean, that's enough for me. Athens over Atlanta. I mean, I could see why they would want to live there versus the metropolis of Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, there are several breweries there now. I think we've reviewed one or two others, haven't we, over time?
Well, we've done the Creature Comforts.
Yeah, I was going to say Creature Comforts is there. So,
where Scofflaw was out of Atlanta, though, right?
yeah, Scofflaw is out of Atlanta. They're a little north of Atlanta, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But all in that region. That's why I was curious if they had mentioned which microbrewery at the time they were part of, because I can't remember the timeline for when Scofflaw started, but they might have been part of Scofflaw or Monday Night or one of the other ones around that area. Because Monday Night was probably starting around that time or a little before there as well. And we reviewed Monday Night at their tap room down in Birmingham. So Ben can put the flight review below or above.
Yes, I can.
If he remembers.
If I remember, yeah. It's always the caveat. All right, who has had this?
I don't believe I have. I didn't look, but
I hadn't, and I don't recollect either of y'all having it.
No.
I think Ben may have had it. I can't remember.
I think I've had it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know me. If it's got the blue and white checker,
Yeah, you're all over it.
I'm gonna buy it.
You're gonna go last either way.
Just go
yes.
I'll go first.
Losers are last.
For an American Oktoberfest, I really like this. I love the fact that they use 100% German malts, hops. It has a great flavor to it. It's easy drinking, crisp. If you're from Germany, I don't know that you would absolutely appreciate it as much, but we went through our advent calendar. This has some of the same hops and malts. I recognized them from the way that Andy described them.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it. I think I've got to give this an 8.0.
Yeah.
All right. German style Andy, what say you?
German style Andy. Hey. I fancy this one. I do like this. I like a Märzen. I thought I liked American versions of German style Märzens better than German's actual style Märzens, but thanks to the advent calendar, I like the more lighter, refreshing appeal of a German style Märzen. Now this still a little more of the malty, caramelly version of a German, and I'm wondering if it's has to boil down to the water in the U.S. versus the German Märzens. But like Jay said, the flavor is good. It is not too much of the malt and caramel like some of the other Märzen's and Oktoberfests we have sampled from American breweries. I would have this one again. So when it comes down next year, or I guess later this year, since we're doing this a little late, when it comes down to Oktoberfest season and I'm looking for some fest beers and Märzen's, I'll go for the Terrapin. It's good stuff. I give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the things, I think you hit the nail on the head. When we had those German beers, it all goes back to the natural ingredients and the stuff that they're using. I think that we don't ever factor in how much of a difference that makes between mineral waters, American waters, whatever, wherever the local breweries are gathering their water. And I think it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and, to that point, there's a reason why bourbon is from Kentucky, right? I mean, it all has to do with a lot with the water that's available there
The limestone,
from the limestone. Yeah, so that was exactly what I was gonna say, is that we don't obviously know the difference in the water between what Terrapin has access to and what is available in Germany, but obviously it's pretty safe to assume that there are some differences. So I think that's going to be the big difference here if you're using the same hops. That all being said, if you go back to our our advent calendar and you look at the Märzen's and the fest beers, and or I think back to the Märzen's and the fest beers that I have that are American, and we had this conversation probably more than we should have to some degree. It almost seemed like, they were flipped in the sense that the fest beers were a little heavier, a little more malty, and the Märzen's were a little bit lighter, where for the German style, where for America, they were the opposite. The fest beers are a little bit lighter and the Märzen's were a little bit more malty. I think this one falls somewhere in the middle. Honestly, I don't, to me, it's not too light. It's not too malt. It's kind of right there. If I had to pick one side or the other, I'd probably pick the malt side for it. But again, based on the Märzen's and the fest beers that I've had from both Germany and American, or from America, that I think it's kind of right in the middle. And don't shake your head at me, Andy. So I think it's, like you guys said, it's easy drinking. It's one that you can definitely have several of in the Oktoberfest time of year, or like we're a little late with it. It's still a great beer that I'm going to grab, and probably grab multiples of, a 6-pack or whatnot, whatever I can get my hands on when they're available. So I think you should definitely look out for it if you can find it when that time of year rolls around. But I'm going to give it 8.5. I think it's great, And why do you laugh? Why is that a laugh?
Because the way you described it, I was thinking you were going to get a lower score, and then 8.5.
Boom,
I was like,
8.5.
That's somewhere in the middle.
I mean, look, the two of you have been a part of every review we have done, right? The viewers out there that are watching this, they may not have watched every show.
They know you.
At this point, you should know me. You should know that however I'm describing it may not be exactly what I tell you from a number. So I'm really surprised that you hadn't caught on to that yet. I mean, between that and knowing me for however long you've known me, 20 plus years, and we've talked about beer for all these years, especially the last 10, at least.
25 years? Good grief.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not any happier about it than you are, but
Jay's getting low on his beer.
I think it's a good one. I think you should check out Terrapin Oktoberfest.
Terrapin Oktoberfest.
It's the only way I can get through hanging out with these two.
That blue and white checker it turns Ben on.
It's you get an extra 1.5 right there.
It's kind of cool how it's like an exploding keg. It's like waiting to get out.
Yep.
Anywho.
All right, that is going to give us an 8 for the Oktoberfest German style Märzen from Terrapin Beer Company, Athens, Georgia. Andy is so excited about that score. He is dancing over there, even though he gave it the lowest of the three of us. So I don't really know why he's dancing, but hey, 8 is where we come out on this one. Out of 10, definitely one that we think you should give a shot if you haven't had it. And you're going to get the Hopped Up Beer Review guarantee that you'll drink it, I guess. I don't know what that's going to be.
If you buy it, you'll drink it. That's the
there you go.
guarantee.
If you pay for it, you're more likely to drink it. Yeah. Anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, share that notification bell. Check us out on social media. Links are below in the description. Come say hey in Discord and tell us a beer maybe one time that you bought that you didn't drink. Pickle beers come to mind for me. So for Andy in his, I mean, those aren't what a vest.
It's like a chaps in a vest. I mean,
chaps is what I was thinking, but that's, I mean, I only see the top. So
send me to Munich. I'm ready.
Okay, corporate will be reaching out to you on that. For Andy and the vest addict and Jay, I have been. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.